Yeah, I got it.
All right, so I'll kick us off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's it going on? Welcome back to the Anime in the Basement podcast. We are your hosts. Of course, I'm the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy. And joining me, as always, is...
It's your boy Boozer.
And we are back. It's been well over a month. We haven't talked anime on Anime in the Basement or the Nerdy Basement in general since like Dragon Ball Super almost 2 months ago, bro.
Far too long.
Far too long, but the fall anime season is here. There's a lot of hot anime shows that are either returning or debuting this fall season. We're not going to talk about all of them, but we have a nice selection that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And we've been feasting. And listen, bro, I've been so hyped. I've been waiting for this episode. I've been counting out the days because I know we were talking about recording. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to talk about the fall anime season because these titles we're going to be talking about are super, super fire. But, you know, and New York Comic Con came and went. We got a little bit of anime news and stuff. You know, the One Piece film Red premiere that they had during New York Comic Con. Obviously, we did not get the invite to that. I was not even aware that that premiere was going to happen. But listen, it happened. You know, One Piece also took over New York City for, you know, Times Square for like a few hours, which was super, super dope. We don't have much anime news other than just, you know, regular announcements. Any announcement that comes out now is essentially just promoting the anime shows that they were promoting all summer leading up into the fall anime season. But we are gonna cover Anime NYC in November at some point. We're currently on the wait list to attend this press and cover, maybe get some interviews and stuff like that. Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, is supposedly attending Anime NYC, so that would be dope if we were able to attend and kind of land an interview and stuff like that. But we'll keep you guys posted. I don't want to put anybody's hopes up because, you know, nothing is set in stone yet. But we will have a dedicated episode for Anime NYC with all the announcements, reviews, interviews, if we get any, and things like that sometime next month. But for today, we're going to be talking My Hero Academia Season 6, Chainsaw Man, Blue Lock, Shinobi no Itoki, Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War Arc, Mob Psycho, and I know, Boozer, you've been itching to talk about Gundam Witch and Mercury, bro. I know you've been itching. You've been
so
talking
happy
about
to
it
have
for
some
months.
Gundam back in my life.
For months, you've been talking about it. But I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to talk about Shinobi Itoki because this was a little more on the milder side. This is an original anime. This is not being adapted from a manga or one, or whatever the case may be. I only watched one episode. There's only 2 episodes out right now, but I only watched the first episode because the plot intrigued me enough for me to spend 20 minutes on it. All right. So this Shinobi Itoki essentially follows this high school student who, unbeknownst to him, he is the 19th legitimate heir to his ninja clan. And, you know, he befriends this girl through high school. He has a crush on her. She shows some interest to him. They decide to start spending some time with each other. She invites him over, you know, they go on a date. She invites him over to her house. You know, things are going as, you know, typical teenage, you know, date. You know, you go at the chick's house, you're super nervous, you're shy. She's making moves that you're not making, but things turn deadly super quick as she tries to kill him. Okay, yo, the plot is the plot is wild, bro.
I knew some shit. I knew you were gonna say some shit.
Bro, it was too, bro. If you watch the first
Oh my
episode,
God.
right? If you watch this first episode,
Yeah,
and you see the girl that he goes on the date with, and you see him and how their lives are so different, and you're like, this is too good to be true.
sus. Absolute
Sus as
sus.
fuck. Sus as fuck. That's one. And I've watched too much anime to know that this is gonna go left quicker than it took longer than it needed to turn left. But once it turned left, it really turned left. But yeah, so she tries to kill him. But he does have a guardian, a female ninja who's a guardian, his security and whatever. So, you know, his family comes to the rescue, and, you know, they get into a tussle with the assassin, the ninja that he was just on a date with. Comes to find out that she is a member of a rival ninja clan.
Of course.
Right. Yeah, of course. So their respective these two clans have been at war with each other for centuries. The rival gang has amassed such power in Japan. They own corporations, pharmaceutical companies. They essentially own the government, stuff like that. So in order to fully take over Japan and control the entire country of Japan, they need to take out Itoki's clan. So
Mm.
in order to essentially save himself and be able to defend himself, he has no other option but to become the ninja that he does not want to be. So, I mean, listen, I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride. I want to see how this
How's the
turns out.
animation?
The animation, honestly, is really good. The character
Okay.
designs, at least for the shinobis, are severely underwhelming. That's probably the
Yeah,
only
I
thing
I
I
looked at some
dislike.
pictures. I just like Googled it real quick, and it's like not very aspiring.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, these
Yeah.
are some super, super lazy shinobi designs. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
they were
saying?
like they were like, I'm not gonna make this iconic at all.
Like
Like,
you honestly, the plot for what it is just whatever. You decided to have fun with just the
yeah.
story, which listen, I'm here for it. You got me convinced. What really sold me on this anime though, and was like, you know what? I'll dedicate some more time to it, maybe
Mm-hmm.
give it up to 5 episodes instead of three, was the action, because the action
Okay.
was really good.
Okay.
The action flowed very well, especially in the animation, the music, whenever you were getting the action. So I was like, all right, we got some dope action. The story is kind of wonky. It's going to be all over the place, but it's all good. The character designs, the human designs at least, are cool enough to enjoy while you're watching it. But I just wish they were a little more ambitious when they were designing the shinobis,
Yeah,
because
that's
they're
always
like
so.
very plain and
You
very
know what?
basic.
I actually had the opposite. I forget the name of it. I think it has like the word Odyssey in it or something like that. But there's this like space sci-fi anime that I was like, because like I'm in the mood for like space and sci-fi.
Right.
So, but like I feel like most of the anime we're getting is like either normal present day or like fantasy based.
Mhm.
But we really don't get a lot of space sci-fi stuff with anime lately.
Yeah, no, not
And
as
it's
much.
it's not a new one. This is like it's still, few years back and whatnot. But I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. The character designs, and I think I sent you some, are bussin'. Like the character design, there's so many unique, cool character designs. The animation,
Mm.
not great. Better than Orient.
Oof.
I hate to give that as like the
It's
standard.
been a
I
while.
hate to
It's
give
been a
that as a
while.
standard.
It's
Listen,
been a
hey, I
while.
watched all of Orient, okay? So don't call me a hater. It's just I
Listen,
wish it would have better
I'll
animation.
take the title from you if you want it.
Listen,
I'll definitely take
I
the
have
title from
watched
you.
both cores, okay? But the problem the problem for me is like not even like I could even get past like the animation wasn't fantastic. Like it was okay. The story was just bland and I didn't care about anyone or anything happening.
Right.
Like it was such a weird story of like this this evil thing that was said to be dead but it's actually not dead and there was a big lie to cover it up. I just didn't care about any of it. I don't know what it is about the buildup of the story or the way that they narrated it through the main character. And I just cool designs. There was a lot of cool characters with like really wacky like armor and non like cloth, and even though
Mhm.
they're in space, like none of them were wearing full suits, so they got launched into space, they screwed. But like
Right.
they're mostly on planets fighting and stuff. But I just didn't care about the story or anything. And I'm like aspiring, cool, easy to point out and like remember
Mhm.
characters, but just nothing else mattered. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
I
I
would
don't
rather
know.
have the other situation though, for this
Cool.
Shinobi.
The fun story
Yeah.
and then the kind of
I would rather
semi
have the fun
bland.
story and good characters and also even good animation and like more forgettable designs.
Yeah, I mean,
I can
I
take
may
that
be
way more.
treating the animation, at least the character designs for the Shinobis, a little too harshly, but um, given how unique, there's almost always something memorable about every single anime that comes out,
Yeah.
whether it be
But
the
like
character designs and stuff like that.
there's ways to make like I don't know I think it just was called that. I think it was like a PlayStation 1 game called Shinobi, and the main character had like a red scarf
Hmm.
and it was like a health bar. The shorter your scarf got, like the lower your health was.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was really cool. And like he had like spikes, like those like spikes on his arms that he used to like wall ride, to, like wall run or whatever.
Hmm.
Really cool shit. I gotta send you like a clip of it. Fun game. I think I still have it. But like it was a shinobi design that was like really cool, and it was like, but it was a very simple design. Like there wasn't a lot going on, but that like simple red scarf and the spikes on the arms,
But yeah, I
like
mean, there's
I
times
can
you can
literally remember
go
that character's full design just remembering that those like two things. Like there's
right,
ways to simply like make a, because a shinobi does have to kind of blend in with shit,
blend in, right, right.
but like there's
I
ways to
mean, you
make
don't
that
want to be
stuff.
like you don't want to be the shinobis from like Naruto that have like bright orange clothing and shit, bright purple and shit. You don't want to
Oh,
be the Akatsuki and shit with black gowns and red clouds just sticking out like sore thumbs. You know what
I
I
mean, when you're super strong, you don't gotta blend in and
mean?
hide.
Right.
You're not fighting in the shadows. You're just rolling up, saying "fuck you."
Pretty much.
Where's the shit that I want?
Oh, but yeah, but for Shinobi no Itoki, I think like I said, I enjoyed the first episode. I still need to watch the second one. We're still fairly new to this anime. There's only 2 episodes that are out. But yeah, I think they should have been a little more ambitious with the ninja design. Essentially,
Yeah.
I get what they were going for. You know, the stealth and whatnot. You know,
Hmm.
these are people who are supposed to just be blending in and on the whim be able to just get into ninja form and do what they need to do. But I think a little more ambition with the
Yeah.
design, make it a little
Even
more memorable.
even like Ninja Gaiden was like pretty like an
Pretty
iconic design,
simplistic,
but was
yeah.
like pretty. It was like all black. It was pretty Shinobi esque.
Pretty
It
much,
wasn't like
right?
outlandish, but like I remember that design off the top of my head too.
Yeah, it's a very vivid picture
There's
that you
ways to do
get.
it.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
a
very
tough
vivid picture.
line, but
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy it. If people
I'll
want to see
check it
something
out.
that's original, that dropped this fall anime season. So I mean, it's either Ninja Itoki or Shinobi no Itoki, whichever way you
Yeah,
want to
I
pronounce
think it
it.
was Shinobi no Itoki.
Yeah, Shinobi no Itoki. Shinobi is just what they call ninjas.
Yeah.
I mean, so you get in the same title, just written differently. But yeah, I mean, check it out. For those watching, if you can let us know what you guys think about it, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Shinobi Toki. Which one you want to jump into next, Boozer?
I what was on the list again?
We got Gundam, we got Mob Psycho, we got Bleach, Blue Lock, Chainsaw, My Hero. We got plenty of hot ones to talk about.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to you. You decide, and we'll roll.
I said let's get into Blue Lock. Let's get into
All
Blue
right.
Lock.
I
Let's
saw
get
the
into
first
Blue Lock.
episode.
This one I've been mentioning Blue Lock for the better part of a year, and mind you, I was hyped for this anime without having read any of the manga. Like I just saw character designs and I read the plot synopsis. Oh, this is like essentially a boot camp, 300 of the best soccer players. These dudes gotta basically squid game their way to the top, and then the number one player out of these 300 players gets a spot as the number one striker on the
Yeah,
Japanese
I didn't
World
know
Cup team.
it was just strikers. That was interesting.
Yeah, so
They're all strikers.
I'm just like, okay, look, listen, I'm not the biggest soccer fan,
Same.
um, but I enjoy the World Cup. I enjoy these pro soccer players representing their countries and going ham on that field trying to win that coveted title. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest
Um,
with you. I don't think I've ever watched a game of soccer.
it's all good, bro. It's not for
I don't
everyone.
think I have.
It's not for everyone.
I
I'll tell
just
you
have
that much.
not. I just never just sat down. Also, side note, I haven't been into sports in a very long time. Probably since like high school, and I kind of got out of all sports. So nothing against soccer. Just
Yeah. No,
yeah,
no. Listen, it's an acquired taste unless you grow up in like Latin America, where soccer is very, very prominent. But yeah, for people like us, like, or at least for me, who grew up,
yeah,
who comes from the Caribbean and parents are Dominican and Puerto Rican, they don't really we don't really do soccer and shit. Baseball is our thing, but I'm into baseball, into football mostly, but soccer I dip and dabble, especially when it comes to the World Cup. But yeah, so that's one of the main reasons I wanted to watch Blue Lock, and then the character designs, most of the promo stuff that we were getting, the animation looks solid. The character designs look great. The action sequences that we were getting in some of the trailers based on just soccer games. I was like, oh,
yeah,
listen, I'm down for a sports anime that is, essentially a death game without the actual death. And,
yeah.
throwing some
I
some
was like waiting for
some
someone to get
shonen.
shot. I was like waiting for someone to get shot. I'm like, wait, how far is this gonna go?
Exactly. This it is mix. It mixes a lot of those niche genres when it comes to
Yeah.
anime, and it blends it very very well to really give you an edgy story that keeps you on your toes since you don't know
Hmm.
what's really going to come next, even if if the show is telling you, okay, this is what you need to do, and this is what's going to happen by the end of the episode. So I've been enjoying it so far, 2 episodes in, and I've enjoyed every bit of Blue Lock from start to finish.
Yeah.
The drive that these characters have, the characters that we've met so far. We're learning a little more now in episode 2. It's only 2 episodes out. I'm not going to spoil it too much because I want you to, just learn about these characters. We're learning more about the
Yeah.
characters. We're learning more about how the Blue Lock. The Blue Lock is what this boot camp essentially is called. It's called the
Big
Blue
building.
Lock. Big building, 5 levels, and you literally, you literally gotta Squid Game your way to the top. And there's a lot of Japanese pride in this, behind
Yeah.
the corporate scene and stuff like that, who run the world sports organizations and stuff like that. And Japan has a chip on the shoulder. Listen, we never get past the final 16 in the World Cup. We're Japanese. We need to be respected. We're one of the best teams in the world. So we need a striker on our team to kind of lead us to that championship that's eluded us, for all these decades and whatever. So I like the synopsis. I like the premise behind it. And the way they've been able to deliver it these past 2 episodes with the action and stuff like that, especially when the characters get into into the zone, when sports players get and they get that look in their face, they're like locked in. And I'm just like, yo, I love that shit.
Yeah.
That shit is super dope.
The one thing I noticed, and the thing I like about this is like it's a different experience to like haiku, because am I saying that right? Haiku. Yeah. Haiku is like very wholesome and like team focused. Like it's the whole crew. And this anime is like, no, it's like, you. No. This is like a very big theme of ego. Like that is the theme of this anime. It's even said in episode 1, just ego. We want you to have an ego. You're the striker. You are the scorer. Even if you lose, score the most goals. Like it's just it's very interesting how different it is. Like, because I have a feeling like they're going to make this character do unlikable things. Even episode 1. Even episode 1. Yeah, everyone in this is going to do, because the whole thing is they have to they are all roommates and contestants against each other, just like in Squid Game. So we're going to see, just like in Squid Game, these characters do things. Now, granted, thankfully, there's no death as a consequence. So it's a little less harsh. But, I mean, supposedly, whoever gets kicked out never gets to play for Japan.
Well, for Japan, yeah, they get to play.
Never get to play. At least play in high school and whatnot, but they never get to play for the Japan World Team. Yeah. So if that was like a goal of theirs, that's screwed. But yeah, no, it's very interesting to see how we take to these characters. Obviously we'll find them interesting, but like how we root for them will be interesting, because like they're gonna do like pretty shitty things to each other. Exactly. So I'm curious to see, especially the main character that they're focusing on, curious to see how that journey is for us.
Yeah, I like the main character so far, because he has a very strict moral compass, and the game, at least this Blue Lock is kind of forcing him to kind of it's forcing everybody to be it's forcing everybody to kind of break out of their comfort zone and kind of push them to the edge to do, like you're saying, do things they might not want to do. You're going to see everybody's true colors here, but you're also going to see people change and adapt to this game to get to the top. So it's going to be interesting to see who breaks, who makes it, who's able to really adapt, who's able to really, whose teeth are going to come out early, who's going to really, put, it's going to be intense. And that's the reason, like, I haven't read like none of the source material. So I'm just going to go on the anime ride. I'm just like, yo, I'm liking it. I was really looking forward to this one. 2 episodes in so far, I am enjoying it. Now
the style is very good too.
Yo,
the style, the way they definitely give us again like a different experience from like Haikyuu. Haikyuu feels very exaggerated, like and intense the way they do things. But this, like literally the dudes, they have like blue flames on his feet. Like when he's got, you know what I mean? Like, and like their eyes have like this like scribbly, these scribbly lines to show how focused and like in the zone he is. So like the designs of like, and I remember Dr. Stone did something similar where like an animation would appear that's exaggerating the situation, like the fumes from the what do you call it, from the lake or whatever, the toxic fumes, and it was like that, like, skeleton woman, banshee thing that was coming out of. So like it's cool, like we know that's not happening, but like it's just it accelerates that intensity and
Mm-hmm.
gives us a visualization of how intense things are. And I it seems like they're like going Super Saiyan on each other, but I
Yeah,
love
pretty
it. I
much,
absolutely
pretty
love it.
much. Episode 2, I think, will make you and like that concept a little more.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm already sold. Yeah.
I think it's Brocky. I think his name is. Um, I'm still trying to remember everybody's name. There's like almost 300 characters that we're gonna meet. It's insane. But essentially the dude with the yellow eyes who kicked the ball to the main character to
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
eliminate
The
Kira.
sleepy one.
Yeah, the sleepy one. Aizawa. I'm gonna call him Aizawa Jr. Because he was
Yeah,
sleeping. Bro, he has it. The when he breaks down, like I'm saying, episode 2 really gives you more on these characters that you're gonna follow. They create the teams and stuff like that. And there's something with him that happens with him. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it
yeah.
because I really want you to, go in blind and experience that for yourself.
Experience.
Um, but yeah, the way they do that and the way he explains that stuff, how and what he wants to teach the main character and how they want to do things together, even though at some point they're going to be
Hmm.
rivals,
Yeah.
um, it's super super dope. So I'm like, that's what I'm really liking too. I'm like,
Honestly, even
who's
that
gonna team up? Who's
the
gonna
end
become
of that first
enemies?
episode was just really dope because like I in my mind I didn't actually like I like to think I think we all like to think that we can see things coming. You know what I mean? Like we all like to be
Yeah,
like, oh, I know what's gonna happen next. But when he kicked it and it was like going over his head, I was like, oh shit, he's kicking it. He's kicking it to the dude. He wasn't even trying to hit him. He's just kicking it to the dude. I was like, oh shit. I should
I
have known
was
that because he was like, I like you.
right, exactly. I was hoping Kira wasn't the one who was
I know.
eliminated because I
Yeah.
really wanted to see them
I
become
wanted to
like
see, yeah, I wanted to see if he would stick to like if he continued, if he would stick to his this is wrong. It's about the
right.
team, not the
Mhm.
individual, not the
Yeah,
ego.
because he was very team
Yeah,
oriented.
he
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
was yeah, he said I'm staying here to prove the guy that basically captured them all. The guy that's like
Pretty
holding
much.
them wrong, the main guy. So I'm a little disappointed he got knocked out. Because that would have been nice to see that
Hmm.
contrarian existing in that. You know what I mean? That would have been a cool
Yeah,
concept.
I think we'll get that to some degree still, maybe with some of the other characters, maybe the main
Maybe
character a
because
little
there
bit
was a
as
couple other
well.
characters that were like the big dude that was like, I don't like people that play cheap.
Yeah,
The
pretty
real
much.
big
Yeah,
dude.
you'll have a lot of people who have like their sportsmanship and their personal code of conduct when it comes
Yeah.
to the sport and stuff like that. So yeah, seeing like I said, there's almost well at this point it's like two. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. We have 300 contestants. You know what I mean?
It
So
starts with 300. Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of personalities that are gonna be clashing here. So it's gonna be intense. I know a lot of the manga readers were praising the story and the manga and hyping it up at for the past year when they
Hmm.
announced it, and we were waiting for the debut. So I'm excited to see where this goes and how this unfolds, at least for this first season. I hope we get, I
Yeah.
don't know how far the manga goes. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but I'm hoping we get at least 3 to 4 seasons out of this show because I really want to enjoy the journey with these characters.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, 2 episodes are out right now, streaming on Crunchyroll, so you
Check it
guys can
out.
go check it out.
Big recommend.
Huge recommend for that one. I haven't watched now a single episode of Mob Psycho, so I don't have no input on Mob Psycho. I do have it on my list.
Yeah. I'll give some short input. It's obviously banger animation as always. Who's does this? Who does Mob Psycho again?
Is it production IG? No,
I
is it?
forget.
Let me see.
I don't know if it changed this, with this season or not,
I'll
but
look it up. I'll let you know
but
if it
yeah,
did.
I mean the animation slaps hard like always. Like all the other seasons before it, whenever there's a fight, it's just candy for your eyes. Absolutely incredible. The story is, it's starting off kind of slow, um I don't think we've been introduced to like any overarching arc of the season. The first 2 episodes are very introductory. Mob again is like growing and learning, kind of doing more things on his own, which is pretty cool. So we are seeing some growth there, which we've seen from season 1 to 2. Him essentially breaking out of his shell, thinking more for himself and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool to see in the first 2 episodes. But outside of that, yeah, like it's two kind of like isolated stories, but it was really good. I mean, Mom Psycho is I can't believe it took me this long to watch it. I just started watching it last year, I think, or like a year and a half
Yeah,
ago, and I'm so mad that I waited so long to watch it because it's a treat. But yeah, it's starting off slow story wise, but
yeah,
I don't consider that slow as a negative. It's just there's not much to like really dive into.
yeah. I mean, it's only 2 episodes. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I haven't watched a single episode of it, so I can't really give any perspective on it. But I do have it on my list. I know I've been interested in wanting to watch it because I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
Have you
when I'll get to it, I have no idea. But
you just mean this season, or have you like
no, I haven't watched any of the
any?
seasons
Yo,
and
you got
not
it,
a
dude.
single
I was
episode.
so
Not
one
a
when I started,
single episode.
and you know what's funny? Because I remember seeing like little, trailers or little bits of pieces of Mob the character,
Well,
and
yeah,
he just
that's all I've seen is
and
like
he
little
didn't
clips of
seem
him
he
going
didn't
psycho, essentially.
yeah, like he didn't seem like a character I would like. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really like he was very straight faced, like it's just it was a kid, straight faced. I don't know, nothing like, at least from what I've seen little bits and pieces of, and no one
Yeah,
ever really talked to me about it. I just was like, I just skipped it. I just was like, I don't know if I like that. And I didn't really know the premise. But I just never when I saw it, I never looked into it. But then like I finally did, and I think I saw like a cool fight scene, and I started watching it, and Mob grows on you like episode after episode after episode.
yeah,
Like you still don't start off like loving the character, but like, man, he grows on you. And up until like now, like I'm rooting for Mob like every step of the way. So it was interesting, like that the anime really helps you, like the characters grow on you. All the characters grow on you throughout that story. So definitely recommend it. Crazy good animation, fun story, interesting storylines. And usually it's all about Mob's growth and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
yeah. I'll check it out eventually. I've been watching a lot of anime now that the fall anime season is here, but we're gonna save the other two for last. The first, we'll save My Hero and Chainsaw Man for last. I know you've been wanting to talk about Bleach. If you want to talk about Bleach, so I haven't watched these two
You
episodes
haven't
yet.
watched? I don't want
I
to
haven't
spoil.
watched.
I don't want to spoil much for you. I mean,
I've
it's
stayed away from the spoilers. I've been
two
staying away from the
episodes. Two
spoilers.
episodes in, it's like a lot going on, but not a lot going on. It's like very
Mm-hmm.
introductory. So,
Right.
a lot is happening all at once. Basically, without spoiling too much, a certain group of individuals is pretty much attacking all fronts, destroying hollows on Earth, attacking Arankars and hollows in Wake Mundo, and then also attacking the Soul Reapers in the Soul Society. So
Yeah.
everything is going into chaos, and of course, our man Ichigo, everyone's coming. Everyone's coming to him for help.
Kurosaki Kun.
Kurosaki. Everyone's like, yo, Ichigo, we need you. And of course, Ichigo is literally just trying to exist. Like, the one thing I love,
When hasn't he? He's just been
one
trying to
thing,
chill this whole season, this whole
one thing I
series.
think I love about Ichigo, like a lot, is that he's one of the few anime characters that has no true self goal.
Right.
He has no, I want to be the greatest superhero. I want to be the Hokage. I want to find the One Piece. He has no goal other than just like living life and protecting his friends and family. Really, his only goal throughout the anime is protecting his friends and family
Right.
because of the situations that are put on him. Because he tried to help someone and became a substitute soul reaper. And of course, like his
Mm-hmm.
lineage, like we know from the past, how his his father is a soul reaper and
Right.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, like of course these things are always going to find him, but he's reacting to the story around him instead of like other main characters that are more proactive and they're
Right.
jumping into things forward, like to try to be the best hero. He's just like literally without spoiling too much, someone shows up in his window and he's just sitting there with his friends and he's like, can you get off my bed? And he's just like that, he's just sitting there, he's like, who are you, get off my bed? And then he just like kicks him out, like he literally just
Yeah.
launches him out, because he's just like, I'm just trying to do my shit, bro. Like
All
that's
I'm
what I love about
saying
Ichigo.
is, once I jump into it, I just want to see my man Kenpachi just going off.
Also, they just went cracked with the quality of the animation and just the art alone. Not even just like still imagery is,
Yeah.
every frame is just like beautiful. And I'm like, they were like, okay, for this final season, we're just going ham, bro.
Unlimited budget.
Like
Yeah. Oh, but speaking of
unlimited blade
studios,
works, unlimited budget works.
were pretty much Studio Bones is who animates Mob
Oh, okay.
Psycho.
Yeah, Studio Bones is killing it with Mob Psycho as always. Always consistent, and it just feels the same from season to season. But yeah, Bleach, they they just took it to. Someone pointed out like it's not spoiling anything. There's a fight between one of these enemies
Mm-hmm.
and a Ron car, and he has sunglasses on, and he dodges the blade, and you see in a frame, in a like one or two frames, you see the reflection of the sword in his glasses.
Mm,
Ain't no reason they
mm,
had to add that.
mm. I
Ain't
just
no
know
reason I would have ever
they went
noticed
off on
that.
that. They went
They
off
went,
just because.
dude,
Just because.
bro. They had no reason to add that, but it's beautiful. It's
Just
beautiful.
because.
And of course,
Just
like our
because.
eyes subtly notice those things because that would happen. There would be reflections in his glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So our eyes are recognizing these subtle things, but like holy shit. Like if they didn't have it, it still would have been awesome animation.
Right.
But they're just throwing in insane detail.
I think a lot of that you can attribute to how advanced technology
Oh,
and
of course,
animation
yeah.
has come since Bleach was taken off the air 15 years ago.
Yeah, man.
It's like you compare a still from like when they were fighting the Espadas and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, and you compare it to something one of the stills for this arc now, you're
Dude,
just
it's
like
the outro.
that was Bleach.
The
That
outro
was
of the
Bleach.
first episode uh pretty much recaps everything from like episode 1 to current. And it's
Yeah,
crazy seeing the quality of animation, just like how it looked.
right. Back
Like you can
then,
tell it looks like a 90s, TV show or whatever. Just like the color and
yeah.
and it's crazy how it looks, and the character designs change over time. So
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't know if you saw it making the rounds on Twitter, but they did the same thing for Naruto. They've been
Oh, okay.
reanimating a lot of the old Naruto.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they've been like added like essentially touching it up with today's animation, making it
Hmm.
look much cleaner. The colors are much smoother. The line work and all that. The animation is more still the same.
Yeah.
Much more fluid than
Hmm.
it was back then. And obviously you see the subtle changes in how the characters
Hmm.
look because the animation is
Yeah.
updated.
Oh my God. Can we get that for Toonami released the Gundam Wing trailer with updated like, touch-ups.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
if that and G Gundam got touched up,
Oh,
mm,
overdose on the animation and shit.
give
But
get
yeah,
oh dude,
it's been cool
oh
seeing them
8th
doing that
MS
stuff.
team. Sorry. Just so
I
many
know
anime
Gundam.
I
So
wish could just get touched up. How great it would, how even better they would be.
oh man, but yeah, Bleach. I'll probably wait another episode or so
Okay.
to kind of get a nice little binge. Because the thing is, like
Yeah.
when anime, when you first start a lot of these shows, like okay, cool, I watched the first episode, watch the second one, and you're just like I'm kind
Oh
of itching
yeah.
for a
No,
little
I
more.
think based off the first two episodes, I think going for episode 3 will be a nice little binge. Because like I said,
Yeah,
a lot happens.
yeah.
So I think like seeing that all at once will be nice.
I'm gonna have to wait till Monday
Yeah.
because that's when the new episode drops. Episode 3 drops, so I might have to wait till Monday. I can get a nice little binge, maybe Monday night, maybe after Monday Night Football. Who knows? But Bleach, I'm not skipping out on Bleach this time around. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna watch that. Maybe start Mob Psycho. I don't know, but in between all the other shows. But
I don't think
speaking
it's
of
long
Gundam,
seasons too. I think it's like 12 episodes a
no, I
season.
think Mob Psycho each season is like 12 episodes.
Yeah. So
Season three is
it's not a
also
hard
gonna be
not a hard binge.
12 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gundam, which Mercury, I also have that on my list out. I did not start yet, but I will be watching that as well because that looked incredible.
Did you watch Iron Blooded Orphans?
I I haven't watched Gundam since like I was a kid. To be completely honest with you,
Oh,
bro.
dude. So I would highly recommend, and it's only I think it's only one season. I forget. I'm pretty
I
sure it's
think
only one
Iron Blood and
season.
Orphans is only one season.
I think it's 24 episodes though.
That's an easy binge on the weekend, bro.
Yeah, man, dude, Iron Blooded. So I think the only anime that I watched the original way back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I saw every episode because this was like back on Toonami, and I think I am sure I probably missed an episode or two.
Right.
But like the old one, like the OG with the RX. Yeah. And then I watched 08th MS Team. I've seen that. Gundam Wing. You know,
I
actually
definitely
was
watched
actually
Gundam Wing back in the
yeah,
day.
Gundam Wing and G Gundam. I haven't seen like some of the newer ones like Seed or any of those other. I haven't watched like any newer than like Gundam Wing and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I mean I've seen like probably like four or five series altogether. But obviously I haven't seen really anything because I haven't watched Seed or anything like that.
Right.
After Gundam Wing and G Gundam, I started like working a ton and going to school, and I just like I really stopped watching anime in general. Once I wasn't really able to watch it on Toonami and stuff like that. Um, so my next introduction was Iron Blooded Orphans, and that shit got me stoked. That shit got me so hyped for Gundam again. First episode absolutely slaps and really just made me like, I'm going to binge the shit out of this. And then watching Witch from Mercury gave me that same feeling Iron Blooded Orphans did with that first episode. I was like, this is Gundam. Like I just loved it so much.
And this
Um
ties into Iron Blood and Orphans, or just
no,
the overall. This is like a standalone type thing.
so I'm pretty sure someone's probably gonna get me wrong. I'll do some more research, but I'm pretty sure this is following the core. There's multiple different timelines,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I know about the
universes.
timeline. Yeah.
I think Gundam Wing is like I think there's only like one other thing with Gundam Wing. I think that's like its own thing. But there's like the century. I think the century time. I'm probably butchering this. I have not paid too much attention. I just kind of consume them. But there's like one core timeline that has like
Hmm.
the most like series in them. And I think this follows that one, the core one. I'm not sure.
I'll do a little more research
I'll do a little more research
before
and
yeah, before I
confirm
jump
that.
into it.
But
I'm not too
it's not as
lost.
I don't believe it's a standalone thing. I think it does exist in the timeline of one of the several main timelines and stuff like that. So I don't believe it's like a standalone thing. But yeah, no, it's just a blast. Like it's then the animation again is
Oh, the
cracked.
animation looks crisp. I know I saw the teaser trailer for that when it dropped, and I was like, "Oh, oh, is that what we're doing, Gunner?
Yeah,
Is that what
man.
we're doing?"
Just like Hathaway, the Gundam Hathaway. Did you watch
Hmm.
that movie?
No, I did not see that movie.
That again, like
I'm telling you,
there's a
my
scene,
if I give you a my to watch list on Gundam, is extremely long.
dude. I would definitely recommend if you're gonna watch because Witch from Mercury, probably real quick watch Iron Blooded Orphans, just because I think that's like a really great newer franchise, and then the new Hathaway movie. And that's like that I think also that follows like the core 100% follows the core timeline.
Yeah,
And then that move like there's a scene where they're running around like on the ground while two mobile suits are fighting, and they're like guns are shooting and like they're like blades are hitting, and there's literally like sparks flying off the weapons, but like they're so big they're literally melting the ground.
that's
So
crazy.
they're like dodging like pretty much molten lava, and of course like not getting squashed by the foot of a mobile suit.
Of a
The
fucking
animation,
giant
it's
mech.
absolutely cracked on that one too.
Speaking of
um
giant mechs, did you see Japan recently reactivate their Gundam and shit?
no, I haven't seen that yet.
So they,
No.
they opened their tourist stuff and whatever,
Yeah.
COVID and all that stuff. And they just recently reactivated their Gundam.
Hmm.
Now it's doing a little more than just standing in spot. Now it's moving and kind of walking and shit like that. I told my boy the other day, I'm like, listen, the Japanese, they're playing this off as a tourist attraction. When
Oh
World War
shit.
Three World War Three pops off, you're gonna see the Japanese flying in on fucking mobile suit Gundams and shit.
Okay, so I do want to correct myself. So Witch from Mercury is its own standalone universe,
Is
actually.
this all standalone
It is its
universe?
own
Oof,
standalone
even
universe.
better. I'll definitely
All right.
be
So
touching
it's
up
it's
on
not
that.
beholden to anything. It
Even better.
is its own standalone universe.
Listen, I don't mind doing the research and in order to jump into an anime franchise or a series, I don't mind doing that because I just enjoy anime that much. I can sit down and watch a shit ton of anime.
Yeah, I
Um,
can send you like oh yeah, so the main core, I think like the main focus one, I believe is the UC the Universal Century. And
okay.
then there's like several other ones. The Mobile Suit Advanced Generation, After Colony, Future Colony. So Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz, and Mobile Suit Gundam Wing are part of After Colony. There's a ton of shit. What
Yeah,
is?
Gundam Wing has been around for longer than we've been alive, so I can
Mm-hmm.
only imagine how deep that lore really goes. But but yeah, I'll definitely jump into that. Maybe next episode, whenever that'll be. We'll definitely I'll definitely chime in on Witch of Mercury. Definitely chime in on Bleach. I'll chime in some more on Shinobi no Itaki. Um, Definitely some more Blue Lock. Maybe I'll dip my toe into Mob Psycho a little bit so we can kind
Yeah.
of see where I'm at that point.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into Chainsaw Man. I know
But
Chainsaw
before
Man's
we pop
only.
into that, I just want to say I do definitely recommend if you like mobile
Go ahead.
suits, if you like Gundam, if you like mechs, definitely
Watch
watch
that. It's
Mercury.
streaming right now on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Almost everything we're talking about right now is streaming on Crunchyroll or on Hulu. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of that, Bleach, that Disney Plus shit. Yo, we'll leave that for another day because
I
I
just
mean,
when that shit was announced, I immediately thought Ozzy was sitting there like,
yo,
told you.
told y'all, man. No, but like I told you, I know a lot of people are still probably running around. Oh, but it's still on Disney Plus. It's still on Disney Plus.
For overseas, right? Yeah.
Yeah, only overseas, only international.
And well, you know what? Because I mean, the main reason why people were shitting on that idea was because they thought it was going to be like
Censored.
censored, and it
Mhm.
is not. I can tell you that it is probably um the only anime I've watched that showed more blood is probably what do you call it? Is it okay to what is it in a dungeon? Is it okay to
Oh, is it okay to
pick
pick
up
up
girls in a
girls in the
dungeon?
dungeon or something like
Yeah,
that?
that is on High Dive for some reason this year. For some reason, this new season it was on High Dive.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea why. Because I think I watched the first two seasons on was it on Hulu?
I'm pretty sure
On
the
one of like
first
the
two
main
seasons
streaming
were
platforms.
on Hulu.
So no clue why High Dive has it. But that shit, heads are flopping off, like blood everywhere, limbs. Yeah, that definitely not censored, which is cool because I mean
Yeah,
the animation's great there too. That also came out and just recently ended. That's also a great watch.
nice. I heard good things about that too. But yeah, Bleach is on Disney Plus internationally. But yeah,
Yeah,
we'll dive into that
not
another day.
censored,
Not
at least not on
censored,
Hulu.
and
Not
is
on Hulu.
also simulcast.
Yes, that was gonna be the end of everything if they came out saying that was gonna be
Yo, imagine people. I think
the
people would have literally
uproar.
rioted. People definitely would have rioted. But yeah, yeah, let's
Newscasters
jump
have to be
into
like, people are rioting over anime.
over anime.
This thing called Bleach. I'm not
Is
sure if
this
I've
the
ever
new
heard of
trend?
that before.
Bleach, and we're not talking about Clorox.
Is this a TikTok trend? News. I can only imagine these guys are trying
Yo,
to
for
figure that out.
real. But yeah, Chainsaw Man. Yo, this has up there with Bleach has had some of the biggest hype coming into the fall season.
Yeah,
Obviously, we've
for
talked
sure.
about Chainsaw Man on the podcast before. We've talked about the manga,
Hmm.
and we dove into the manga story because we knew it was getting. There was rumors of this getting animated.
Yeah, boy.
We talked about it once it got the official announcement. When we got the first teasers, when we got the first look, the first trailer, there was a lot going into this. So this had its premiere at New York Comic Con. So Chainsaw Man, the first episode was
Yeah.
played at New York Comic Con. Unfortunately, since I was there as a professional and stuff like that, um, my schedule was a little tight, so I had an interview scheduled at
Hmm.
the time the panel was going on. So I couldn't make a reservation to
Hmm.
attend the panel, listen to the English dub voice cast, talk about the show, talk about Denji, Makima, Power, and all Aki, all these dope characters that we're going to be talking about and following throughout the show. And then get to see the first episode on that gigantic ass screen that they added to the
Yeah.
main stage in that beautiful new building, in that beautiful new room. No, I mean, it's like, I was like, damn, that was an experience I wish I walked out of New York Comic Con 2022. But either
Yeah.
way, it is what it is. I just had to wait a couple more days to watch it on Crunchyroll when it dropped. And man, Mappa did not disappoint here. Mappa did not disappoint here from the opening.
I know people were worried about the CG and everything, and there was that like leak that I saw from like someone that recorded it from
Oh, the
the
potato can footage that
potato
was
can
going around.
footage. And like, I mean, once I saw it, I was like, there's nothing wrong here. Like, this is, I mean, yeah, it's noticeable that it's CG compared
Right,
to like, the 2D art. But actually, I will say, even the 2D art, the way it's drawn is a little bit more 2D esque. I think to like make it a little bit smoother transition.
right,
But
right,
like,
right.
I think it looked great. I mean, like, I
It
didn't
it
have,
looks it looks really good, to be completely
yeah,
honest. And the way that they've been pacing the episodes, kind of combining, 2 chapters per episode.
yeah,
The pacing has been spectacular. That, we're getting to the shits rather fast and kind of
hmm,
rather dragging it out, kind of like the manga does, where you get a little more in depth as to why Denji is a devil hunter. The debt that his father left behind and stuff like that. We don't really get too much into that in the first episode, which is okay by me. We don't really need to get,
yeah. I feel like it gives us enough to like
it gives
understand. He just was dealt a shit card.
exactly. Life
Yeah,
just dealt him a shitty hand, and he's been trying to do the best with that the cards he was dealt. He's trying to make the best out of it. And just life just did not work out the way he wanted it to work out, which is how he ends up becoming the Chainsaw Man. But I mean, overall, these first 2 episodes have been super solid. I think the voice actors, the Japanese voice actors so far have been able to capture the essence of the characters, from the source material. Denji has, that softness, that humility
yeah.
to him and whatever. But he does have that viciousness to him once he gets,
Hmm.
angered, or he has that drive to want to do something, or he needs to fuck somebody up, essentially. So seeing all that kind of brought to life, seeing Makima being brought to life and given a more vivid personality, just picturing
Hmm.
it on the manga pages. The same thing with Aki, the same thing with Power, seeing
Yo,
all that.
power definitely,
Yo,
power sounded like power,
Power
100%.
Power definitely sounded like Power. I think Aki, that the
Words
voice actor
right
for
off
Aki
of
is,
the words right off
everything.
the page.
I think everything so far for Chainsaw Man has been nailed from top to bottom. And I can see why Mappa took their time with this.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to show you too much. We want just dive in with as little as visually, with a little visual information as possible, and just
Yeah.
enjoy the feast. And it's giving me the same animation that they use for Jujutsu Kaisen. It has some of the
Hmm.
same color palettes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The filters and whatever. But it's still recognizable as its own thing,
Yeah, it
which is
does
great.
feel still different. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just Mappa being Mappa. I know people give Mappa a lot of shit, especially from the business side of things, and we're not going to focus too much on that with this review. But I think they delivered so far. I've enjoyed everything.
Yeah.
They haven't held back from censoring anything. You get the
Hmm.
blood fest, you get the
For
demons
sure.
getting this shit blown off, bro. Seeing powers, demon powers, like
Hmm.
the way she was just able to just whip,
The
whip out
blood
that
mallet.
blood, the blood. I was like, bro, that was smooth, bro. I loved it. I loved it so far. I'm enjoying it. Everything I'm gonna say about Chainsaw Man is gonna be positive. You guys want to hear more positive stuff about Chainsaw Man? Go back and listen to our manga episode. We fully dive into. I think it was like 3, 4 volumes. I think it was that we dove into. So there's a lot that we covered from the
Yeah.
manga, and we're just barely scratching the surface of what we discussed in that episode in the anime so far. But that's all. That's all I personally got. How about you, Boozer?
Hey, listen, you took all the words out of my mouth. I just, I think everything's hitting. It's very early on. 2 episodes.
Yeah, right, right, right.
Not like a ton of major shit happens. Aside from him,
Yeah,
becoming half human, half devil. Also, if you liked the, if
becoming an
you,
actual anomaly and shit, because that's he's
yeah,
essentially,
they
well,
she
him,
literally said there's not a word for it.
yeah, well, they
And
they gave it a
power,
word at
because
some
power is
point.
an anomaly as well.
Yeah, because she's a fiend, essentially.
Yeah,
That's the word they eventually give them. They
but
become
she's like
fiends.
can like act like a normal person essentially.
Right.
Yeah. Well, normal is normal power Kit
No
Kat.
more for no more for her.
Yeah. But if you like her like blood mallet power, you should check out Noblesse. I think it's like 12
Oh, gonna
episodes.
bless you.
Noblesse. Yeah. I don't know if you ever checked that out when it came out, but
No, I was going to. It's
vampires,
still on my list.
yeah,
I
vampires,
started the
great
first
animation.
episode and I think I fell
And
asleep. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
gonna go back.
the main character, the no the like main like character that it focuses on
Mhm.
has like blood power, like blood manipulation power, like kind of like power does. Really
Yeah,
cool shit.
that's dope. That's dope. But yeah, Chainsaw Man has been everything about it has been great. The feels, everything.
Yeah,
Like watching Pochita, seeing Pochita and
bro.
that, bro. Come on, dog. Come on.
How you gonna get my heart strong? How you gonna get my heart just aching for a little dog with a nose that's a chainsaw?
Come on. Come on. Come
Also
on,
when it started speaking to him,
bro. I
come
knew it was
on.
coming. I knew it was coming. But I was like,
Yeah,
bro,
absolutely.
you ain't have to hit me. Right? You unbreak my
Don't.
heart, please.
This is episode 1, man.
For real. Episode 1. Take your time
I
a little
knew it
bit.
was coming. I knew it was coming. It had to.
It had to. But listen, looking forward to episode 3 because now we're starting, we're seeing them starting, close off the vicinity because there's a big fight coming already. This is only the
Hmm.
3rd episode.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
there's a
know
big
that
one coming.
there's a huge fight that's gonna last. I would say maybe 2 episodes
Yeah,
tops.
and a lot of stakes
Um,
in that fight too.
yeah, there's a lot that sets up for the future of the story
Hmm.
with this fight going, so I'm really looking forward to see how that fight is animated, how it flows and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Just the soundtrack that they use for it. It's just a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to when it comes to Chainsaw Man. So I mean, listen, the good thing about reading the manga is that the spoilers,
Hmm.
but to experience it in animated form,
Oh
to
yeah,
see how
it's a different feel. Yeah,
to see how it all comes to
to
life
see
and how
things
they
in
present
movement
it. Mhm.
is always going to feel different, even if it's something
So good.
you know what will happen. It's just a treat still to see thing because like again when things are drawn, you can't draw every frame, you can't draw every
Exactly.
motion, you can't draw every action. So being able to see that all in an anime it does change the experience because you are seeing a lot of things that your mind has to fill in the blanks for.
Exactly.
When you see someone slash in on a manga page, you're probably going to see 2 3 frames of that, but then when you get to see it, it could be more impactful the way it's done, the way it's drawn or
Hmm.
anything like that. So it changes the experience. So
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I thought that reading ahead of a couple because when we talked about Chainsaw, I knew like I was like, okay, well, I rarely have like read the manga before the anime. And I knew this one was coming, but it doesn't ruin it. Same thing with Spy Family.
Yeah, we did the
The
same thing
the
for
the
Spy
manga is great and
Family.
the
We did
anime
the
has
same thing
been
for
a
Orient.
treat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons we're going back to Orient for a little bit why we were so disappointed with Orient is
Yeah.
because like, bro, the manga,
The
the manga
the
just
visuals
hits.
are pretty cool. Yeah, and story wise, it does get more interesting and more intriguing with some of the themes and concepts. And the art is pretty like it's pretty nice. Like it's really nice
Yeah.
in the manga. Very well drawn, really nice. Like the main the fire demon or what the red demon
Hmm.
that we first are introduced to, in the story is like really dope looking in the manga,
Yeah. Oh,
and then it's so
so
simplified
flat.
and
So flat.
yeah, and like some moments it looks like it's only 2 stories tall, and then some angles it looks like it's a skyscraper tall in the anime, but like in the manga it looks gigantic. It just
Right.
looks
Hmm.
like us. It looks like an 8 story tall monster. But in the anime it just changes sizes. Like it just feels like it's
It just don't
not
hit.
that big
It
at one
just don't
point and then
hit.
huge at another.
This
Yeah,
is one of
it
those shows I probably wait till it's completely done to go back and revisit.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll move on to My Hero Academia season 6 because they hit the ground running with the season. Given granted, there was nowhere to go but up
Yeah.
from where season 5 ended.
Yeah,
There was
for
nowhere to
sure.
go but up. You weren't gonna sit there and just take your time and kind of build up to the big battle and whatever. You did all that in season 5. You did most of that in season 4. You gave us a little bit. Now everybody throwing hands and yo, bro, My Hero Academia been hitting. It's getting dark.
Yeah.
We're seeing some other heroes, the pro heroes getting the spotlight. We
Mm.
got Merkel getting the spotlight, bro.
Whoever the artist is that drew Mirko and those thighs, bless your heart.
Bless your
Because
heart, my brother.
I've never been like wowed by thigh. Like the her thighs made a force impact. Like what do you call it? One of those shockwaves.
A shockwave, yep.
And I was like, oh, she about to go hard.
Yo, the
And
fact that
she
she was
did,
able to
knocking
repel,
heads off
she
with
was able to
kicks.
parry one of the and deflect or at least absorb the shock from one of the attacks on the high ends.
Oh yeah, which is
Because of it,
insane.
she's like, "Oh, I blocked it all. I absorbed it with my legs." I was like, "Woo! Let him know, Merkel. Let
Let
him
them
know.
know.
Let him know, bro." My Hero Academia has been hitting. A lot of the characters that are usually sidelined are getting the spotlight. Kaminari had a nice little spot in last week's episode. We got Jiro kind of helping out. To everybody's helping out. We
Yeah.
got we got the Shield dude, the one who creates. I think he's like the number 6 and number 7 hero,
Mhm. Yeah.
popping off with some high end no moves and shit. And Endeavor is also, but everybody is popping off. Obviously, they're all gonna get the spotlight for now because you got to save Shigaraki for the big three, which is Todoroki, Kachan, and Deku. But yeah, I'm enjoying it
Yeah,
so
it's nice.
far.
It's nice because like this whole world, everyone has like a power almost.
Right.
The majority of beings have powers,
I mean, this
and
is
it's just
80%, is literally
yeah.
80% of that universe, of that world that has powers.
Yo, imagine being one of one of the even if you have although I would rather be a
Yo,
non-powerless person than being a dude with a what do you call it? What are the long caterpillar head? It's not a caterpillar. The thing with all the legs.
oh, the centipede.
Centipede, yeah, with a centipede head. Listen, I'll take being normal than
or
having a
or or
centipede
the
head.
or the one dude, because now my son is watching. I got my son watching My Hero Academia, so
Yeah.
he's watching it all in dub, obviously. So he's been watching it every single day,
Hmm.
nonstop. So he's almost caught up to the new
Yeah.
season. So I've been seeing some of the old episodes, and then imagine having a quirk, and your quirk is called shame. You feel shame and embarrassment for everything, bro. The anxiety, bro, is
Bro.
through the
Bro,
roof.
dude, or no, you know what? Try being Orca. Okay.
No, I like Gang Orca, bro.
No, Gang Orc is dope.
Dope
But
ass, bro.
I have a question for you. How does that work with a significant other?
They find ways, my brother.
Or like I feel bad for like the people that are just like the police officer that's just like a dog. Like just got a dog head. That's just it.
Word, what was his
Like
name? Hound or some shit like that?
yeah. Or like even what's his name? Shadow.
Oh, Tokoyami, Dark Shadow.
Togiyami. Human body, bird head, shadow being power. How do you
That's kind of dope. I ain't gonna lie. I mean,
but it's
you can't
cool. Like it's cool, but I'm like thinking like
aesthetically,
who
or
how do,
imagine being part of the big three and getting pushed as much as they hyped you up, only for one of y'all to lose your powers, the other one to be so shy that you never reach your full potential, and then the third one just do a flash dances in the sky for the school festival, and then that's it.
true. But yeah, it has to be a conflicting world of like because like you can either have a dope quirk, you can have a weird quirk, you can have a quirk that's like kind of cool, but like I don't know how you ever gonna have like a significant other
Imagine having
based off what your power is.
Minetta's quirk. Imagine, bro,
You,
what?
or you could just be a normal person. And then you just have to if you're a normal person, you just gotta deal with the shit. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing
exactly.
you can do. You just gotta deal with the shit going on. Oh, this place is getting robbed by someone that could turn everybody into mud. Oh, that's great. I don't know
That's
how I'm
great.
gonna survive this. I don't see a hero around. Oh, what
If
am I gonna do?
only a hero can
Like,
save us.
there's no like being the like being the hero as a normal person. You're not doing
No,
jack
you're not
shit.
doing jack shit.
You're, unless
Or
I
the
mean,
one dude, if you go all the way back to season one, like
yeah,
his quirk was sludge, and you decide to be a villain. Like it's like, bro, what? Or the other girl who I never remember her name, but she's invisible, the invisible girl.
yeah,
It's like, okay, so nobody's ever gonna see what you look like ever again,
yeah.
bro.
There's a lot of like, I'm sure therapists. There's a large number of therapists. There's got to be.
Oh, that gotta be one of the most high paying
There's
jobs
got to
in
be
this universe.
a lot of depression for.
Yo, shit. But yeah,
Oh,
going
sorry
back
for
to
that
these recent.
tangent.
No, no, that was a great tangent. I'll go
But we're getting to
because
see
this is
more
this
people's
this
powers.
this
We're
is stuff
getting
I
to see
think about.
more
This is stuff
people's
I think about.
powers.
So I'm glad I'm not
Yeah,
alone.
especially when like we get more introduced to like new people's powers that we haven't seen before.
Hmm.
Because in the back of my head, I'm like, that's dope, or I'm like, cool, but I would hate to have it because I
Like the
have
girl with
like,
the mushrooms is like, yeah, now I'm one and the same with fungi.
how's that
Okay,
work? How does that
okay.
work? Or like the dude that is no, the dude that is the comic book things head.
Yo, yeah, yeah, yo, he was dope. I
How
ain't
do
gonna
you
lie, that shit was
breathe? How
dope.
do you
Yeah,
do
but
you have eyes? How are you? Where are your orifices?
was it? I think his name was Manga.
Yes,
His name was
yeah.
Manga. Yeah, yeah, Manga.
It's like how do you work, my guy? If you're sick, what does a doctor do? Doctors, living nightmare, living nightmare. How do you operate on someone who's got like someone like Orca, who's a whale
Nah,
human?
you just got the healing lady, the old lady.
She
Just
can't
gives
heal
you.
everyone in the world. She's in Japan. What people in America got to do when they get in a car
Yo,
accident?
speaking of that, real quick, I know there's a manga called My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that takes place in Japan. But I would like to see either a manga or an anime series set in the world of My Hero Academia, where they're focusing on different parts
Oh, the world?
of the world
Absolutely.
with quirks. You know what I'm saying? Because All
Yeah.
Might has been to America and
Hmm.
has fought alongside other
Yeah.
pro
And we
heroes
are
who
going
have
to get
quirks.
introduced to someone, you know,
Exactly. Who's from America. So it's like
correct.
I would
Yeah.
like to see
That would be pretty cool.
I would
Even if
like
it's
to see something
like
like
a
that.
limited, like a short run, that would be dope.
Right. Or even an OVA. Give me an OVA like an
Yeah.
hour episode, or give me a movie or something. That
Yeah.
would be
I
super
that would
dope
be
to
cool.
see.
That would be really because it's such a because it's 80% of the world, not just Japan. Like
Right, right.
and you got it's also like I'm sure other countries would like would adapt differently to having
Oh
this
yeah, of
many.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'm so
definitely.
curious at how that would be treated.
I can already see America. They had their own pro hero militia.
No, no, bro. America it would have armies, and then everyone else would just be superstars. That's it. No in
Yo,
between.
the boys.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It's
it.
literally the boys
America would be the boys
of My Hero Academia.
my except they do have a actual noble good hero as like their top dog. So
Yo, that would be funny. But yeah, I mean, this season is off. I mean, it's leading,
yeah, off and
building up
running.
some more. It hit the ground running, but it's really also building up to essentially we're near the end of My Hero Academia. To
Yeah,
be completely honest, we're in
yeah.
essentially the final stages of what will be the big battle between Deku, All for One, and Shigaraki at some point down the
Deku
line.
goes away for some time though, doesn't he? In the manga, like doesn't he go
I'm
off on
not
his
too
own?
sure. Probably.
Because like yeah, from what I'm aware of, like he like dips for a little bit to like I forget. Like I could have. So I'm pretty
I don't know.
sure that's
I was actually in Barnes and Noble the other day, and I was like, I just picked up the most recent. I didn't pick it up. I mean, like it was there on the shelf.
yeah.
I picked it up, and I was like, all right, I think it's time to look at some spoilers.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm spoiled on like a lot of the things, but I'm pretty sure Deku dips for a little bit to like do
I'm not too
training or
sure.
something on his own or something.
I wouldn't be surprised because that would be a Deco thing to do,
Yeah, because
especially
we
now
still
he's
got
getting
a lot. Like
older.
we got a lot of his quirks that he's gonna be learning and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
there's a lot of stuff that we still got to go through with him, especially with all the other vestiges that
Yeah,
we're going to be introduced to
like
and
we've
things
only
like
been
that.
introduced to technically one, no,
Yeah.
two, right?
Well, too, we got the we
Two.
got. Well, do we really want to count that as a vestige?
I don't know.
All Might's mentor. We only got her in a flashback. I don't recall if
Yeah, I mean,
if
we
he
really,
spoke to
we
her.
really only focused on one.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
was Black Whip.
with the Black Whip. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's like we still have a lot of My Hero content unless they
I
compress a
mean,
lot.
there's a lot. We'll
Yeah,
get some more seasons. Not gonna
but we
be
are
ending.
story wise nearing the end. Yeah.
Yeah, story wise, we're definitely nearing the end to like the big clash and stuff like that. So, I mean, this most recent episode, this past week's episode was one that tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie, because that death, the death of fucking of Twice. I did not expect it to be as emotional
Yeah.
as it was. Or I did not expect to feel that much empathy
Yeah,
for a character like him.
you do feel bad for the dude.
Like, yeah, I mean, he's been
Like,
through some
yeah,
severe
his
psychological trauma.
his quirk was a huge part of his psychological trauma, his own quirk.
Exactly. To
So,
develop a split, essentially a DID is
mhm.
essentially what he developed
Because he
through his
split so
quirk.
much, he couldn't figure out if he was the real one.
Exactly. So, seeing his story, how he progressed, learning how he was able to kind of cope
Hmm.
with his DID, how to keep those personalities together and tame it and control it. To see him often, through his psychological fuck ups, like
Hmm.
I put
And
my team in
constantly
this,
being manipulated by other
constantly
people,
being manipulated, and
both
it
a villain
hurts,
and a hero.
and it hurts so much because it came from Hawks, and like Hawks knew that he
Yeah.
was weak,
Hmm.
and he exploited that. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It was like
For sure. Yeah.
it's like Hawks. I know I'm supposed to be rooting for you, dog, but it's like I'm not mad at you. I know you. I
Yeah,
know
because
that's
at
what
the
you're
end of the
supposed to
day,
do.
Twice is a criminal, and he
Exactly.
continues to be a criminal and to assist with criminal stuff
Activities.
over
So
and over again.
it's like
So,
yeah, like I fell for him, but like I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
That's the path you chose. That's the path you chose, and those were the consequences of it. Despite your DID and despite the
yeah,
trauma, I think I really felt more. I felt more for him, or I empathized with him a little more because of the guilt that he felt and the fact
hmm,
that he did grow a sense of trust in
yeah,
Hawks. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, for
Like
sure.
especially after Overhaul. They
Hmm.
do the callbacks and stuff like that. And this is
Yeah,
stuff I watched recently with my son. Um, seeing him kind of essentially inadvertently destroy or help destroy to a degree or weaken the League of Villains
hmm,
through Overhaul's manipulation to then help with them rebuild themselves, take over the Meta Liberation Army, build it, amass this such a huge league of criminals to this
hmm,
army essentially is what
yeah,
he amassed at that point. To then have Hawks there, building, bonding with him and doing things with that, motivating each other to then have that confrontation, and then Hawks not even hesitating, like, listen, bro, I didn't want to do it to you, but I got to do it to you, bro. Like,
listen, I feel bad, but then I remember that both that the League of Villains were so down with killing children. The when they
no, I mean, fuck Shigaraki and shit.
yeah, like they were all
Fuck,
down for killing children. So I'm like, I listen, I do have some empathy, but y'all
no,
still
listen,
and then the new
and then
their new vision
he's
again is
still
to like destroy the world and rebuild it
right.
back with like the image of like
Exactly. And the thing is, like, even despite Hawks fighting against his emotions so much, because
yeah,
you can tell he was fighting, he didn't want to do him
he
like
didn't want
that.
to do that, yeah,
He
and
didn't
he
want to
gave
do
him
him like that.
opportunity to like come with
Exactly.
him,
That's what I was gonna bring up. I'm like, he gave you the opportunity. I
gave him
wish,
every
like, I
opportunity.
really wish things were
Twice could have just
different.
said yeah.
I wish things were different, and you would have decided to just come with me quietly, and we could have just
Hmm.
further built on this essentially a friendship, and we could
Hmm.
have set you on the right path. Because that was another thing, down in his core, Twice was a good guy.
Hmm.
It's just that split personality is what
Changed
really
everything,
fucked him
yeah.
up. And just to see that all come to a head, and then see that clash between them two
Hmm.
and all the time they spent together, I was like, damn, this is not a death that I felt like I would
Yeah.
empathize with as
And
much.
I think the main reason there was no chance he would ever go with Hawks is because he already built those bonds with like
Yeah,
um
with the league,
with the league with so many members of the league that
especially
like
especially Toga, because she
yeah,
was like
especially Toga. Like there's
she was
no
his safety
way,
net.
yeah, there's no way he was gonna leave that. So like no matter how much Hawks
Hmm.
was like, hey, you can change, like he he had a home, and it was unfortunately with the villains that are gonna do some
Yeah.
fucked up shit.
And then at the end, like he said, he
Yeah.
was like, "Listen, yeah, I did whatever. May I enjoyed the life I lived," and
Yeah.
and he died in the arms of the woman that he loved, essentially. Um, yeah, I don't know. That shit was just, I was like, damn, yo, My Hero Academia is getting dark, bro. And I know it gets
Yeah,
darker as the story
because like people, we
progresses.
also haven't really experienced like too many deaths. Like
Not,
we've only had a couple. Like we
no,
haven't.
yeah, we only had Sir
Yeah,
Night
we've only had,
Eye.
like it's been few and far between, and it's gonna start.
Yeah, not now, as obviously the manga readers know where
Yeah.
the story is going and how
Hmm.
dark the story gets.
Yep.
Obviously, there is one big death that was spoiled a couple months ago over the summer.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to mention it for those who don't read the manga, but that death was like broke the internet, like even to the point of
Um.
you.
Wait.
Was it
Are
confirmed
you?
though?
It was. Are you not caught? It was
I don't read.
reversed.
It was reversed.
Yeah. It was. No, I mean, it wasn't reversed.
It was a cop out.
It was a cop out. Yeah.
See, I hate when
If it
anime
is what I
shows
think
do that.
what if you're talking about like the one I think you're thinking,
One of the
yeah,
big threes. One of the big threes.
it was reversed, yeah.
If it was one of the big three, I'm referring to one of the big threes of
It
the
was a
show.
cop out. It was a
See, I
cop
don't
out.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I figured that I had a
I,
feeling they would do that.
we'll talk offline, but I just don't want to. I
Yeah,
don't want
no,
to spoil anything. Yeah.
we'll spare the spoilers for those who
Yeah.
only watch the anime. We're
But
not
things
gonna
are
do.
gonna get wild over the
Yeah, we're
next
not gonna do
few.
that to y'all.
I
But
don't know
yeah,
how many seasons are left of My Hero, but it's only gonna get more wild and
if I'm not mistaken, I think the next volume, I think it's like volume 37,
mhm.
38, something like that. Yeah, I think it's 38. Is the start of the final arc
Okay.
for My Hero Academia. So we're at season 6. We're definitely gonna hit Naruto Shippuden territory in terms of how long the show is gonna
That
go
makes
on
sense. Yeah.
before we get to the end.
That
So
makes sense.
listen, I came to My Hero Academia maybe like a year late, year or two late,
Yeah, I was
and
pretty late in the game.
it was super dope, and I'm enjoying what they're doing so far this season. Season 5, with switching the order of how the League of Villains arc kind of started,
Yeah.
where it happens in the timeline, that kind of like, was a little underwhelming because it wasn't as impactful as it was in the manga, because I did
Yeah.
read that specific arc in the manga. But seeing to how it led into what we're getting now in season 6, I think the payoff, the risk was worth the reward
Mhm.
to an extent, I feel like. But so far, man, listen, I think this episode of My Hero Academia the death was impactful enough. It was I think it'd be
Mhm.
one of the deaths that people will be talking about for a while. Because we
Yeah.
got the death of Sir Night Eye, and yeah, while it was emotional and stuff,
Mhm.
I don't feel we spent enough time with Sir Night Eye
Yeah.
to
Agreed.
really grieve
Like
that death.
you felt for the characters that loved him,
Right.
but like we didn't get a lot with him. So
Exactly.
like
So it's like,
we were more connecting with the characters that are dealing with the loss than actually dealing with the loss ourselves.
exactly. So yeah, so like with Twice, like listen, I enjoy me a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the trauma that he went through, and seeing how much guilt and shame he put on himself, he burdened himself with. Because obviously, I think with this death, what hurt him the most wasn't the fact that Hawks betrayed him. Is the fact that he allowed it to happen
Mm-hmm.
a second
Again.
time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think that hits more than just being betrayed, because you don't see it coming. Again, they formed a sort of friendship. So to him, I trusted you. And whenever he spoke to his other friend, the one who died,
Mm-hmm.
um, he would tell him, how would I know if I consider somebody a comrade? You trust him.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's what really sent them over. I'm just like, That's tough, homie, but but it is what it is.
You
Not
chose the wrong crew to call your home.
exactly. But now I want to see is how Toga kind of reacts, how she
Mhm.
reacts to all that.
There's also going to
Post
be
haste,
some, yeah, we're also going to see some shit with Dobby, you know.
bro. Bro, what also another thing I've been enjoying about the season, there's been a lot of characters because the thing is like this universe is so vast
Mm-hmm.
with pro heroes. Obviously, clearly you got a top 10 because you don't want to have a top 20.
Mm-hmm.
You have your top 10, but you have a multitude of heroes who are either lower level, lower
Mm-hmm.
ranks, they work for the police department, they work security at some corporation, whatever the case may be. At least for the top 10, we haven't gotten a lot of these characters on the spotlight. We usually only focus on the
Yeah.
top two, maybe the top three heroes. All Might fell, forced into retirement,
Mm-hmm.
and Endeavor steps in as in the number one spot. Hawks is number two. That's who we've been following for most of the past two seasons. Seeing characters like Mirko, who's a big fan favorite, to finally
Mm-hmm.
see her on the front
Bro, she
lines,
was lobbing heads off
bro. And then I love the
with
fact that
ease.
she has the luchador mixed in with the martial arts fighting style, and then her attacks are named in Spanish. That was one of the things going back to Bleach a little bit is what attracted me to Bleach a lot was the use of the Spanish language and
Mm-hmm.
incorporating the Spanish language into the lore and the setting of in the world building essentially. But yeah, that's something I enjoyed about Mirko as well. So seeing her like in the way that was animated, her moon attacks were just like her scissor
Bro,
kicks and all. I'm like, bro,
everything
y'all going
about
ham.
Mirko, it was perfection.
So seeing characters like that um get the spotlight is super super
Yeah.
enjoyable. When we get to the Dobby stuff, that's something I've been itching
Yep.
for to see since I read about it. Since the spoilers came out a few
Mm-hmm.
years ago for it, I'm just like, yo, I am waiting anxiously, impatiently waiting for that confrontation and that major reveal. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that is not necessarily going to break the internet as
It's
much as
not,
it
no.
did
It's gonna be cool to see
when it
though.
first came out in the manga. And granted, this was another. I think if I reference this to the other anime I want to reference it to, I think it will spoil it for
Yeah.
the
I
for the anime only watchers. So I'm going to refrain from referencing the
yeah.
anime I was going to reference. So I'll refrain from that because I don't want to spoil it. But I think you know which anime I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I think I do.
But yeah, I want once that comes around because I've been enjoying, not necessarily enjoying. I want to see how Endeavor fixes all his past fuck ups. You know what I'm saying? Like now that
Yeah.
he's in the
Because like
spotlight,
now that he's in the top spot
you know
and
what I
this
mean?
huge thing is happening.
And there's a lot riding on his shoulders now. Like he wanted the number one spot
He
so
did.
much, and now you have it,
Yo,
and
my
it's
man
not.
got the number one spot at the worst time.
There's so much riding on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, like Nomu infestations and
yo,
an entire liberation of powered people wanting to
yo,
fight against
that
the
shit
status
is
quo.
fucking
My guy
crazy.
said my guy said now I get it.
He's like, yo, All Might, where you at, though?
Yeah, right. He's like, listen, I know you don't got your power, or like they're pretty much gone, but like, mm, have you
Might
thought
help out
about
for like two
getting out of
seconds.
retirement? You mind coming back? You mind coming? Come on, Jordan
Yo,
came back. Come on.
for real, flu game, bro, flu game it. You got to Jordan flu game it, bro. You got to do it like that. But yeah, I just want to see how all that works out. There's some stuff that happens with Todoroki I know from the manga at some point that I'm
Hmm.
really really aching to see because I feel like he's a character who's been super sidelined
Yeah. Hmm.
since like season two, since the
Hmm.
the first summer festival that
Yeah.
they had. And I'm just like, there's just so much. I mean, not necessarily sideline because we did get a chunk
Hmm.
of story for him and character development in
We've
terms of
gotten well. We've gotten a lot of like interpersonal character
yeah,
development, but not
exactly.
like anything like
Nothing on the
relating to like his
superhero end.
powers or the superhero stuff. We haven't
Yeah, like I
really
want to
gotten
see
anything from him
him.
on that.
I want to see him do some more feats and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I want to see him,
Go plus ultra.
handling exactly Go Plus Ultra, handling some of those big fights and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Like on his own. I don't want him to,
Correct.
we've seen Bakugo face off against a group of people by himself.
Hmm.
We've seen Deku face off against a group of people by himself. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the MC. So he's faced like almost every
Like I
powerful
want like
motherfucker out here.
a new moment where like when he fought against the muscle dude.
Right.
Like when Deku fought against the muscle dude by himself. Like I want to see Todoroki get
I
some
want to
love.
see what I want to see from Todoroki is what we saw in the summer festival
Yeah.
back in
Hmm.
season 2, where he was going ham against Deku. It was like, yo, bro, I got a chip on my shoulder and I'm here to prove it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that chip is gone. He softened up a little bit. They kind of set him on the sideline. He's just watching his dad. He's getting it all interpersonal, which is good, which is fine. There's a lot that Todoroki has had to burden himself with and kind of like stomach and just not necessarily deal with it because his dad was always pushing that to the side because he
Yeah.
wanted the number one spot so much. So to see I just want to see some more feats
Hmm.
from Todoroki. That's all I need from him. But overall, so far, I've been enjoying season 6 of My Hero so far.
Yeah.
I
What
think
is
it's
it?
been great.
3 or 4 episodes?
We're 3 episodes in, I
3 episodes
believe.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 episodes in. Yeah. So this is the only one that's like a little deeper than everybody else. This one kicked off. This is what kicked off the fall anime season. That very first week of
Hmm.
October, that's when it dropped. So it's just one episode ahead of everybody else. But that's all I got. I went on a whole. I was not planning to go that deep into My Hero Academia, to be completely honest with you guys, honestly. But listen, I had a lot to get off my chest from My Hero Academia. So
Yeah. Listen, I'm glad it's back.
so good. It's been so good. All of these shows that we talked about today have been great.
Dude, I have been just I feel like I'm just having a gourmet meal. Like
Bro, this is a buffet.
I
Bro,
got
I was
me a
just sitting
new
there just
Gundam back.
choosing.
I got Bleach back, man. One of my I would consider that probably one of my top three animes for me personally. I know a lot of people don't, is what it is. We got Chainsaw Man,
Bro,
which
hype.
is killing it. Like Mob Psycho's back, which is something that I didn't jump into early on because I just didn't think it would be that interesting. I never knew how wild it gets and how good it is.
Hmm.
Um, I'm glad I'm in and I'm all in for it. So that's back. There's just so much shit.
So much good shit. We
Like
didn't even
my
get to Spy
feed,
Family.
like
We didn't
my
even get to
feed, it
Spy
was, yeah, we didn't
Family.
even get the Spy Family, which is also just a gem.
Hmm.
Like every episode is just as good as the last, and if
It's
not
so
better.
good.
Like
So good. But we'll
protect
talk.
that
We'll
family
still,
at all
yeah,
costs. All
protect
costs.
everything Spy Family related at all costs.
Jesus,
Everything.
so good.
We got the doggo finally. We got the
Doggo's
doggo.
Doggo's here. Been
Bro.
waiting for that. I've been waiting for that to get teased up.
Bro, finally, we got the dog. We got the dog. Everything, yo. People ain't ready, man. People ain't ready. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of Animated Base. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a while, but we've been itching to come back, and we've been teasing it, but we just been super busy covering stuff. And it's the fall season. Everything is dropping. Film festivals, conventions, all these shows, animes, comic books, movies. Everything is dropping in the fall, so it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. But you guys know where to find us. You guys know where to listen to the episode. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you do not miss a video. We drop videos almost every single day. Every single week we're dropping something. So make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, make sure you guys subscribe to our feed. Follow us on social media. Follow Boozer on social media. And we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, stay nerdy, my friends.